narrow an area as possible and focus them on something. You can't focus it on a blank, on a vacancy. And on what we are going to focus our gathered mental energies, concentrated mind, depends upon what we seek. Also, it depends upon our past evolution, the state of our development, what kind of nature we have. Some will have an image, not necessarily one image, maybe a series of images. The mind will project images, and this capacity of mental projection of images testifies to an active physical mind. So those of us who have an active physical mind are apt to see a flitting of images, not always chosen by us consciously, but number of images that have passed before, number of images which our imagination builds, and the mind goes on looking at them. Even to keep the mind fixed on these images is an exercise. Normally, after seeing the images for a while, the mind wanders. We have to get it back. That is one. Keeping our mind, the attention of the mind to the images that are formed on our mental screen. Those who take to spiritual life, for instance, they would exercise their will to see that the images are of some forms of inspiration, forms of beauty. Say, for instance, a flower, a beautiful sunrise, a beautiful scenery, or a figure like that of Mother or Sri Aurobindo, which has infinite meaning for us, which is a source of deep inspiration for us, which is a channel or a gate to a larger consciousness for us. We keep that before us, a form, and try to look at it. And as we look at it, what is behind the form, that yields itself. You look at the figure of infant Krishna. God, in the form of delight, in the form of joy, you concentrate upon it, maybe as you have seen in pictures, maybe as you have visualized after reading what has been written about him by poets and seers. And as you concentrate, as you look, the delight, waves of delight, even perhaps the vibrations of his flute you may hear, there is a movement of felicity. This may or may not happen in all cases, but I just illustrate that meditation on a form, when it is properly done, necessarily leads to communion with what is behind form. For some whose physical mind is not so active, but whose thought mind is active, who are more used to thinking, they will have idea of the divine as love, the divine as knowledge, the divine as power, of beauty as beauty, whichever, in whatever aspect you seek to realize the divine, those ideas you have to encourage, those ideas will fall. That is what Mother means by saying you work out a theme, the divine is beauty. Thoughts concerning the manifestation of God in the form of beauty. Beauty of form, beauty of feeling, beauty of thought, beauty of existence. Then there are others who are not strong either in images or in ideas. They find it easier and more natural to experience feelings, sensations. The moment they close their eyes for meditation, they will feel a crest of devotion, their consciousness rising on a crest of devotion, a spreading of love, love for God, love for all. There may be a sensation of joy, a quiet joy, an ebullition in the chest, a sense of peace, in whatever way, that feeling and that sensation. The meditation proceeds upon that.